In this video, we're going to be checking out the Diamond Select Toys Ghostbusters Select Quitting Time Ray Stantz. Along with the other main Ghostbuster characters, like, of course, your 4 Ghostbusters, they stand roughly about 7 inches tall. Of course, that varies when you get into the other characters, but basically your Rays, your Peters, your Egons, and Winstons all come generally standing at around 7 inches tall. The figure itself, we've gotten a specific Ray, this specific Ray, in a Ghostbusters outfit before. Probably one thing you'll notice, though, is the slight difference in his outfit. Not only is he sporting a zipped open front, where you see his black t-shirt underneath, but he's also got all this paranormal, I'm sure there would be some technical term for it, but just this residual of slime, just dirt and everything else that's caked over his... He's had a long day. That's basically... It's quitting time Ray. This is Ray coming back. I think it's basically around the scene that Winston Zeddemore gets hired on. Him and Peter are coming back into the firehouse. So again, he's had a long day. He's probably had several different calls that he's had to go on. And now Ray's looking for some long overdue R&R. The face sculpt, as well as the rest of the figure, just a breath of fresh air. You know, I was going through my totes the other day and I found some of my old Mattel Ghostbusters figures. And I don't want to do comparisons because I really didn't want to. It was its own thing. This is its own thing. But it's certainly, in my own honest opinion, it's a night and day comparison between what we're getting here with the Diamond Select stuff. And I feel like just the, I don't want to say cash grab, but like the reuse of molds, nothing really feeling like there was care and stuff to it. This stuff, on the other hand, I mean, as a Ghostbusters fan, just love these figures. And I know in the beginning I said that I really wouldn't be inclined to pick up additional Ghostbuster figures where essentially it's the same figure, but then you've just done something different to it, like if it was covered in marshmallow, if it was covered in slime. I know I said that, but I mean, now that I physically have Quitting Time Ray in hand, gosh darn it, I love this figure. Again, not really much that's different between this and the initial Ray, other than the fact that you've got the zipped open Ghostbusters outfit, which I might add, they didn't just simply... I don't want to hate on Mattel, but I feel like Mattel would have just probably slapped some paint over top of the existing outfit. Whereas here, you've actually got a noticeable zipper that's been opened up, and you've got like the wrinkles of the fabric as the outfit has been moved slightly to the side. Like, it feels like it's substantial. Like, there's care and sculpt. Again, I'm really happy with the head sculpts. It definitely looks like Ray Stantz. It definitely looks like Dan Aykroyd. So again, really nice work done here. Now, he's Quitting Time Ray. He's still got his Proton pack on his back, and they split. You can see all the nice coloring on the wires and the additional little valves and switches and stuff like that. It is really nicely done. Now, I might be inclined, because this is a Quitting Time Ray, to try to take the Proton pack off. Before we do that, though, the Proton wand, there's like a little triangular wedge right here that sits right here. Some of the figures in the past I've noticed doesn't do the greatest job of catching. This particular one catches perfectly fine, sits right there. No harm, no fuss, no muss. If you want to still have Ray bustin' ghosts, though, what you can also do too is comes included with the Proton stream. And that just slides. There's a little notch right there. I want to just make sure I got that lined up. It fits right over the open notch right there. The little slot fits right in there. And you can have Ray using it. I mean, really, too, if you want to decide not to have Ray bustin' ghosts, you can make use of these Proton streams from like the first wave of figures that I think omitted. These little caps weren't on all of the initial figure releases. So Proton streams as it goes. Nicely done. I mean, you can... It's got a slight, let me take that off so I show you what I'm talking about. And we'll take that off too. Oh, and oh no, I actually broke it. Oh, that's a shame. I'll just glue that back in place, but luckily I'm not planning on displaying Rey with it. It would basically go like that, and I must have just nicked it when I was taking it off of the Butterfingers. But I was going to say, it's slightly pliable. It's a soft rubbery plastic, and then you've got the blue electricity running around it. Again, really nice. Shame that actually it broke off. It was just such a small tube of plastic on the end. Simple bit of crazy glue, that'll fix it. No problem, no fuss. We'll put that to the side, and like I said, with already having released a Rey, I'd probably be inclined to take the Proton pack off, and to do that, you just want to kind of move the arms out of the way. I didn't initially think that they were untabbable, but there's a little tab on the side, and there's a little tab on the other side. When I did the first bunch of reviews on the Ghostbuster figures, I had mentioned that it's a shame that the Proton packs don't detach, but they do actually detach from the figures. You can easily just, you don't even really need to untab this one area, but just untab the other side, and look at that, just simply slide off the Proton pack. Who would have thought? I initially didn't honestly think that you could untab them, but you can. You just put that to the side. And now you just have Rey Stantz without the Proton pack. Looking very nice. Again, probably displaying him like this because really, you know, you already have a Rey with a Proton pack. There's no sense in really having, you know, Quitting Time Rey with one. Some of the other accessories that he does come included with is the Ecto Goggles, which I suppose would be more kind of going back to the Proton pack, would be a better fit for the Proton pack. You know, painted nicely here in like an olive, slightly olive military green. You got some silver and some black there with an adjustable strap that you can fit over his head. And the strap just slides down like that. Now, I mean, you could have it either on the top of his head, or you could try to finagle and get that actually over his eyes. It's entirely up to you. And then he has all the other trimmings that we'll be looking at in a second. One thing, actually, that I wish this figure did have, I mean, I'm looking at basically all the accessories, your Proton pack, your Proton stream, unfortunately did break that, the Ecto Goggles, some hands. He also does have a walkie-talkie, which we've basically seen with all of these figures. And we can fit the walkie-talkie into a slot. Don't worry, I haven't lost my train of thought. You thought I'm going to be like going off on something. I'll forget all about what I was about to say. What I was going to say, though, if this is Quitting Time Rey, what I would really have loved that Diamond Select would have incorporated with these figures is a trap. Now, we have gotten traps before, but what I would have loved to see is a trap that actually has sculpted smoke. You know, that you could either take off the trap, or you just permanently have the trap molded with it, but actually have a little bit of smoke coming out from the traps. Maybe give Rey 2 of these. Because, I mean, Ecto Goggles go a long way for me, and I appreciate the Proton pack. But, you know, we've gotten those with other Reys and other Ghostbusters. This would have been a prime opportunity to incorporate some stuff specific to, you know, the scene. If Rey's coming in, I think he hands Winston a couple of the traps. Give him like two Ghostbuster traps that he could have held in his hand and had the little bit of smoke coming out from them. I think that would have been a great looking touch. As it goes for the rest of his accessories, though, he has 2 pairs of extra interchangeable hands. He's got slightly gripping hands currently as a default, but he's got the more closed hand for holding the end tip of the wand. And he's got a couple of the gripping hands and stuff like that. Things we've all seen before, and no strangers to Ghostbuster collecting. You'll also find he does come with a pair of like gloved hands, which also have the little cuffs on the end. And just to show you how those work, take off one of the hands, which unpeg very easily. You'll want to take this end collar, this little cuff part of the glove, and it actually just slides over top of his existing sleeve, just like that. Then you can go ahead and take the hand and sculpt that on top of that. And you can have Rey wearing one of the Ghostbuster gloves. It makes probably very little sense that he wouldn't actually be displayed with both, so, but I just took it off just to show you how it works. I like that. And you know what? Let's, for the finish of this review, I'm going to take off the hand. I'm going to take off, which actually can be a little more difficult, taking off the sleeve. And let's just replace one of the hands. There we go. All right, so let's talk turkey. Well, specifically, let's talk articulation. His head is on a ball joint, which rotates left and right. I guess you could technically rotate it all the way around, but I wouldn't do that. Shoulders hinge, as well as an all-the-way rotation all the way around, blah, 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 blah. We've seen this all before. I know sometimes I sound like a broken record by covering off on articulation. It's just so that if you are new to collecting the Ghostbuster figures, you know what to expect. So I know for some people that have probably seen a couple of these reviews already, this seems like all familiar territory. But he does have an upper torso bulge. Let's not forget some of the aspects of his arm. He does have a bend in the arm, a rotation all the way around. Sometimes you might find actually that the elbow pad rotates along with that, and a rotation and hinge in the hand. Then you get to the waist, which has a slight, there you go, rotation. It gets a little caught up. It's a little stiff actually on this particular figure as well. Forward and back motion on the legs, a split on the thigh area, a swivel cut on about the midpoint of the thigh. You got your swivel there. Double hinge on the knee. And you've got your ankle pivot, love that. And a forward and back motion on the boots there. Despite the fact that I thought I really didn't need another Ray, or really for that matter, I didn't need any other Ghostbusters, having already had the core 4 members, I have to admit, Quitting Time Ray does look pretty good. I like, if they had put just the slime on him and didn't do this, I don't feel I would love it as much. But sculpting this area in where it wasn't there before, then adding all the residual and all the other Ghostbuster stuff left over from all the hard days and nights they've been working, it actually is a fairly rewarding looking Ray Stantz. I would say don't overlook this guy even if you picked up the initial Ray, because actually this one is pretty good. The only thing I would actually fix, and not fix to the figure, but maybe fix to the accessories, is not necessarily give him ecto goggles, but I would probably favor of giving him the, as we had already discussed, the 2 ghost traps, 2 or 3 of them that he could actually have dangled in his hand that would have had smoke in them. And maybe had it where, you know, they weren't sculpted collectively, that they were all independent traps, maybe even 2 ghost traps that had the smoke in it, so you could use them for the other Ghostbuster figures as well. Other than that, great looking figure, very happy to pick him up. If you're interested in picking this up for yourself, you can find them at your local comic book stores. As a side note, and one of the reasons, I don't know why I actually left this off, one of the other things I forgot to mention was this particular Ray Stantz also came with part of the diorama. I don't know why I felt the need not to include that. It came with it. It comes with like this little, kind of looks like Goofy, to be honest. And I think that just plugs onto the top. I probably failed to include this just for the fact that I really wasn't collecting the diorama pieces. But then I realized the error of my ways at the end of this review. I should really incorporate it so that if you guys are collecting the diorama pieced figures, this is basically what the collecting rooftop piece would be if you got yourself Quitting Time Ray. Had to throw that in there. I didn't want to forget it. I almost forgot it. Then I looked down. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot the diorama piece. But there you go, guys. Today we were checking out the Diamond Select. This was the Ghostbusters Select Quitting Time Ray with a diorama piece that I almost forgot. As always, guys, if you like this video, hit it with a like. Let me know down below what you think of these particular figures, and if you've had a chance to pick up Quitting Time Ray, or you're just sticking to the, you know, the initial Ghostbuster outfit figures. And let me know down below. Also, if you haven't had a chance to subscribe to this channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that little subscribe button down below. And one other thing, he's throwing all this extra stuff in here. One other thing too is if you like the Diamond Select Ghostbuster figures, you can go back and watch all the previous videos that I've done by checking out the Ghostbusters Select playlist that I have available. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.